Does it look like we have history repeating itself as we are seeing reports come out about the top enlisted leader of the U.S. Navy that is now formally under investigation under very obscure circumstances that literally leave us with more questions than answers? And why now? Why this? And will we actually see anything from it? I have some very critical thoughts on this and very good comparisons to what we could see this come out to be, but let's read the article because Navy Times has broken this story as nowhere else has really talked about it. They titled it, Navy Investigating Top Enlisted Sailor Over Alleged Misconduct. It says the Navy Inspector General has launched an investigation into allegations of misconduct by the top enlisted leader sailor in the Navy, according to a defense official with direct knowledge of the probe. The defense official, who asked to remain anonymous as they weren't authorized to speak on the matter, did not specify the nature of the allegations. Smith did not respond to a phone message Wednesday, but his spokesperson, Senior Chief Stacy McCarroll, declined to comment, and she quotation said, "I'm not allowed to talk about it right now," she told Navy Times. Commander Rhianna Momsen, however you say it, says a Navy spokeswoman also declined to comment. Like they say in the Navy, loose lips sink ships, and they're not trying to take this ship down, especially as a investigation is ongoing. Now you're like, that is vague, and I'm like, does that ever raise any alarms or questions to you? Because they, in this article, and as I was thinking about as I saw this title, there was not only an issue with this possibly, but we saw this only a few years ago as Master Chief Russell Smith here, the MCPON, replaced Steve Giordano, the freaking Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, only a few years ago for toxic workplace environment. Whatever happened to that guy? I don't know. I'll tell you more about that. And it does look like the spokespeople for the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy do fall back on regulation as it's easy to do so, and says, as a matter of policy, the Navy does not comment on the status of investigation or confirm if an individual is under investigation, Momsen said in an email. So my thing is, Navy Times would not take their credibility, I would say, and sit here and report that someone was under investigation without some kind of paper trail, some kind of reason, some kind of backtracking to say, we kind of have an idea of what's going on. But as, you know, the reporters did dig into this, it does look like they kind of did leak out a little bit of information. While declining to discuss specific allegations against Master Chief Petty Officer Smith, the defense official said they were not at the level of the misconduct alleged against former Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, Giordano. What does that actually mean? You know, so they're like, it's close to as bad, but not as bad. But I would like to speculate and set the stage for a lot of you guys out there, because there's a lot more context to this. When you have Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, Russell Smith, out here that is about to retire this year, and literally an investigation is known to have started on him, allegedly, wink, wink, as he's about to retire, we don't talk about these allegations. We don't release anything because we don't want any bad PR about any of this, right? And granted, investigations don't just call it a day, right? That's not even it. It's going to take a while, knowing darn well that probably his replacement is going to come very soon. And this will all just coast into the sunset, and literally this guy will retire and no one will ever probably actually know the final outcome unless someone does a Freedom of Information Act where they find out the findings of this and see what he was actually being accused of. Now, they do in this article relate this to Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, the 14th, Stephen Giordano, which he had a little bit different of a story. I can tell you I visited this office in the Pentagon personally and seen where this took place, but there were a lot of people alleging that he was part of this toxic work environment, and he would make people do basic errands, or like he would have outbursts of anger and things like that and take notes, and he felt like he was at a higher level as like a 3-star admiral versus his position as the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, as that position specifically is like the advisor to the Secretary of the Navy and these other people for the enlisted side of the house, and kind of have that representation. To quote Navy Times in the article they wrote several years ago, it says, behind closed doors, MCPON Giordano takes on an alter ego that is condescending and defaming to the senior leaders and junior staff alike on a regular basis, totally contradicting his own publicly preached values and beliefs of being quietly humble leader, the former staff member said. So those were the allegations, so you can compare, maybe have an estimate or speculation of what you think Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy Smith is having against him as far as these allegations. What could this be if it's less than this? My own assessment of this, there's a couple things. One, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy Smith has been very soft-spoken, very choiceful with words, doesn't seem to put off anything. But again, this is a public persona that he has held and understands he's under the spotlight. We're not sure what happens behind closed doors. Also, let's make a comparison to the previous MCPON, okay? They relate these two, but they're kind of in different circumstances because Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy Smith is very close to retirement, right? So we could see this going under. Now, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy Stephen Giordano resigned, like before the investigation was even over, because he was still pretty new to the tenure. He had, I think, about a year and a half-ish at the point when this started going on. He makes a statement that the best move forward for the Navy is to make sure that they can continue to fight, and he's going to resign so they can focus on that mission. Look at Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy Giordano's LinkedIn account. Last thing shown, he works for the U.S. Navy, and that is it. It has now been several years in radio silence. Let's also compare this to another person. You look at Captain Crozer, the CEO of the Theodore Roosevelt, that was relieved for making a unencrypted message saying that they were going to have an outbreak of COVID-19 on the ship. What happened to him? You cannot find anything on these individuals because you see that if it was out there, people would be digging much further. And the fact that you would see that things are getting just pushed under the rug is what I'm speculating here, right? When you look at that, it makes you make more questions or ask more questions than it is you're going to find an answer, because they're still going to set up Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy Smith up for some kind of position probably after the Navy, right? Let's be honest. This is a small group of people that are at this top, 0.001%. Literally, he's the freaking 15th MCPON of the Navy. Let's be honest here. He's going to have a higher place of social circles that he's trying to maintain, and they're probably going to try and maintain for him as well. But, let me know what you guys think about this. Seeing this kind of come out, the timing and all that, what do you think about this as we can speculate, kind of putting some pieces together and alluding to certain things that, just raise some eyebrows per se. But as always, if you guys do support the channel, support over at patreon.com, special perks and benefits. On top of that, YouTube join button below this video for special perks and benefits as well. If you have questions, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. If you would go to my TikTok, also follow me over there. I'll see you guys next time.